At exactly 3:52 a.m., Ashton Hall taped his mouth shut, gargled designer spring, dropped to the floor for push-ups, and dove face-first into a bowl of ice water, while thousands watched in awe and confusion. He called it discipline. The internet called it delusion. But no one could deny Ashton Hall had become the guy for alpha wellness. He moved like a machine, slept like a monk, ate like a billionaire, and with every mouth-taped breath, his following grew. Until one day, everything changed. A live stream, a foot race, and a man named Ishowspeed. What started as a friendly sprint turned into a viral collapse. Because in 4 brutal races, broadcast live to hundreds of thousands, Ashton Hall didn't just lose. He lost the brand. He lost the myth. He lost the moment. And by the time Speed yelled, "Delete your Instagram," the internet already had.
Delete your Instagram, bye. Just watch that.
This is the story of how Ishowspeed ended Ashton Hall's career. Not with a cancellation, not with controversy, but with pure, unapologetic speed. Let's get into it.
Ashton Hall's extreme morning routine has taken the internet by storm.
This influencer extreme. This guy is blowing up.
A man whose morning routine has gone more viral than any man on the planet.
Before the memes, before the ice baths, the mouth tape, and the delete your Instagram chants, Ashton Hall was just a young guy trying to figure it out. Born in Florida in 1995, Ashton Hall had the makings of a traditional athlete, but his grind wasn't limited to the field. While playing college football at Alcorn State, a small HBCU in Mississippi, Ashton was also lining people up with a pair of clippers, charging $5 to $7 a cut just to keep some cash in his pocket. His stats weren't flashy, just 6 carries in 5 games, but his hustle, unmatched. He didn't have NFL speed, but he had something better, an obsession with control, a drive to outwork everyone around him, whether it was on the turf or in a dorm room barbershop. Eventually, Ashton dropped out of college to pursue barbering full-time. But it didn't stop there. He transitioned into fitness, became a gym instructor, and quickly earned a reputation as the type of guy who showed up before the first client and locked the doors after the last one. But clocking in for someone else? That didn't sit right. Ashton wanted freedom, ownership, legacy, and he was willing to risk everything to chase it. So in 2020, when the world shut down, Ashton made the move to quit his job with no backup plan. Just a vision to build the most disciplined fitness brand on the internet. And somehow, he did it. Through relentless consistency, wild routines, and an unshakable belief in grind culture, Ashton Hall built a digital empire. He grew his Instagram following to over 10 million. He filmed his famous gym routine with Mr. Beast, raced DJ Khaled, and posted motivational reels that hit hundreds of millions of views. His morning routine became a phenomenon, waking at 3:52 a.m., taping his mouth shut, sipping Saratoga spring water, rubbing a banana peel on his face, plunging into an ice bath, hitting the treadmill, diving back into a cold plunge, saying a prayer, and locking in for the grind. At first, people laughed. Then, they copied. TikTokers, YouTubers, even other influencers, they stitched it, mocked it, then adopted it. Ashton Hall wasn't just a guy with a crazy morning, he was the blueprint, the trendsetter. His videos went viral across X, where screenshots and clips turned into memes, each one a mix of awe, confusion, and ironic worship. He became a walking paradox, mocked and admired all at once. But behind the memes was real money. Ashton retired his mom, bought a G-Wagon, and then upgraded to a Rolls-Royce. He moved into a $17,000 a month penthouse in Miami, complete with marble floors, floor-to-ceiling views, and a cold plunge on standby. Everything was perfect. The life, the brand, the image. He didn't just sell workouts, he sold the dream. Discipline, wealth, masculinity, ascension, wrapped in one icy, hyper-productive package. To his fans, he was the embodiment of what modern hustle could achieve. To his critics, he was a symbol of ego dressed in Lululemon. But regardless of how you saw him, Ashton Hall had built an empire before most people had even hit snooze. And when he finally stepped into that park to race Ishowspeed, it wasn't just about who was faster. It was about what happened when the image meets reality. And what happened next, no banana peel could fix. It started with a live stream, a simple challenge between 2 internet giants. Ashton Hall, the self-made mogul, symbol of elite discipline, and Speed, the chaotic entertainer with the lungs of a sprinter and the energy of a lit firecracker. 2 completely different worlds, one defined by control, the other pure, unfiltered chaos. But on this day, those worlds collided. It happened at a park, somewhere quiet, sunny, and unsuspecting. Ashton pulled up in peak form, diamond earrings in, abs tight, focus locked in. You could feel it in the way he walked. He was serious, confident, maybe even a little cocky. This was the guy who woke up before 4 a.m., did push-ups until failure, and dunked his face into a bowl of ice water, just for mental toughness. A few sprints, light work. Speed, on the other hand, showed up the way he always does, loud, erratic, and shirtless. But don't let the antics fool you. The man is fast, and Ashton was about to find that out the hard way. The first race, Speed smokes him. The crowd roars. Ashton looks stunned, but brushes it off.
What I say? You slow. Let's get it. We'll fry, bro. Let's get it. You with a pole? Yeah. Okay, no more excuses. You see I fell.
Warm up, he says. Second race.
I'm going to expose him again, chat. I didn't even roll full speed. He's getting exposed again. Ready?
Same thing. Speed wins again. This time he's screaming, jumping, pointing at Ashton like he just won Olympic gold.
Leave Florida, my gang. Leave Florida. You're not ready for me, bro. Don't call me out. Don't ever call me out. Fuck out of here. Don't ever call me out. Don't ever call me out. You a fraud. And I'm at the side.
Third race. Fourth race, no mercy.
Clear.
Speed wins them all. It's not even close anymore. And with every loss, Ashton's image starts to unravel. Then comes the moment that gets clipped, memed, and turned into digital history. Speed walks right up to Ashton, chest out, camera in his face, and shouts, "Delete your Instagram."
Delete your Insta, bro. Bye. Just bye. Watch that. Chat, watch this. Watch this. He gonna chirp again.
It wasn't just banter. It was a knockout punch to a man whose entire brand was built on being better, faster, stronger, more disciplined than anyone else in the room. In that moment, Ashton wasn't the alpha. He was the headline. Comments exploded. Banana peel didn't save him. Mouth tape didn't work this time. 3:52 a.m. for this. But what made it sting more wasn't the speed, it was the symbolism. For someone like Ashton, who sold the idea of dominance, who told millions that comfort was the enemy, who branded himself as a machine, losing a simple sprint, shattered the illusion. Because if the guy with the iced face and G-Wagon can't beat a YouTuber in 4 tries, what else was fake? The race wasn't just a loss, it was a turning point. And Ashton Hall, the man who woke up before the sun to chase greatness, found himself caught in the glare of a spotlight he couldn't control. But one viral moment can burn it to the ground. The internet didn't just react, it detonated. Within minutes of the live stream ending, clips of Ashton Hall getting smoked by Speed were everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube Shorts. Every angle, every loss, every slow-motion moment where Speed surged ahead and Ashton lagged behind. It wasn't just content, it was culture shifting. Meme pages had a field day. One captioned 3:52 a.m. for cardio. Speed did more damage in 30 seconds. Another, banana peel couldn't save him this time. Even parody accounts were reenacting the sprint, mouth tape and all. And then came the stitches. TikTokers who had once copied Ashton's routine were now roasting it. One guy woke up at 3:52 a.m., did the ice bath, the treadmill, the banana facial, and still lost a foot race to his grandma in a nightgown. Another just sat in the ice bath and whispered, "Speed was right. Delete your Instagram." Even verified creators jumped in. Fitness influencers who once reposted Ashton's routines started distancing themselves. One posted, "There's levels to discipline," but Speed reminded us that raw talent matters too. The comment sections were brutal. Bro woke up at 3:52 just to catch an L by 3:58. All that ice water and still couldn't cool off Speed's flame. This is why you don't talk crazy unless you can back it up. On X, Ashton Hall trended for 2 straight days. Not because of his routine, not because of his success, but because he lost over and over again. To a guy who streams FIFA, barks into microphones, and sings made-up anthems at football games. Even Speed's fans were shocked. Nobody expected the streamer to win every race, let alone dominate them all. But that's the thing about Speed. Beneath the chaos is an athlete, a real one, with quick twitch instincts and explosive power. And Ashton, for the first time in a long time, looked human. No longer the ice-cold alpha, just a guy breathing heavy in compression shorts while the internet laughed. But it wasn't just about who ran faster. This was about brand warfare, perception, image, ego. Ashton Hall built a following on being untouchable, unbreakable, above the noise. But on that track, in those 4 races, the internet watched that armor crack. Some defended him. This doesn't change the grind, he still built his life from the ground up. Let the man lose a race without losing his identity, but most weren't so kind. And in the age of virality, kindness doesn't trend. For a man who controlled everything, down to the second, he had no control over what happened next. Because when the memes hit faster than your PR, you're no longer running the internet's running you. Here's the real question everyone started asking after that viral beatdown. Did Speed just clown a fitness influencer? Or did he accidentally destroy a multi-million-dollar brand? Because for a guy like Ashton Hall, this wasn't just a foot race. It was reputation versus reality. But let's clear something up. Despite what the meme said, Speed did not end Ashton Hall's career. Sure, the internet roasted him. The delete your Instagram line became a punchline. His comment sections turned into war zones. And yeah, his image took a hit. But the truth? Ashton didn't disappear. He regrouped. In fact, his very next video after the race showed a very different side of him. No mouth tape, no ice baths, just Ashton, shirtless, sweaty, and clearly emotional, tearing up on camera with a single caption, "We'll come back strong." And that moment, raw, vulnerable, real, struck a nerve. Because for the first time, the man known for discipline looked human. And then, he got back to work. Rather than retreat, Ashton leaned into the spotlight. He gained more followers, not fewer. Started doing live streams, touring internationally, India, Ireland, Mongolia, and more. He took the viral moment and spun it into reach. Because while the internet mocked his loss, it also boosted his exposure. Collaborating with Speed, whether they planned it or not, was the best brand move of his year. The races brought him new audiences. People who had never seen his 3:52 a.m. routine before suddenly knew who Ashton Hall was. The brand didn't break, it evolved. Of course, there's no denying the irony. The man who built his identity around extreme discipline lost in a race to a guy who barks into a webcam and barely trains. It stung. It looked bad. It was the opposite of everything his brand stood for. But sometimes, that's the price of virality. You don't get to control how you go viral, only what you do after it happens. And Ashton? He chose not to hide. He doubled down on being himself. He reminded fans that a loss in a sprint doesn't erase years of hard work. That mental toughness isn't just about winning, it's about bouncing back. And whether you love his routine or find it ridiculous, you have to respect this. He's still here, still waking up early, still running his business, still showing up. So did Speed humble Ashton Hall? Absolutely. Did he end his career? Not even close. If anything, he handed Ashton a new chapter, one where the fitness coach didn't just represent perfection, but resilience. Because in this era of influencer culture, sometimes the biggest flex isn't the win, it's the comeback.